Hey guys, this is video 5. So in this video, we are going to be adding material to a ticket. You're going to want to start on the home page, and we're going to repeat the steps. So again, we're going into mobile project, which is 19005. It's our second project down. I'm going to click into the tickets tab for that project. I'm going to scroll down to my ticket. Again, we're adding to ticket number 49. And one of two things, we've been clicking the detail button. So if you click the detail button on this, what happens is you go to your detail page. And from here, you can click the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner, and you can click the add materials and equipment. Now, I'm sure you're kind of getting the hold of this whole detail from project to detail of ticket kind of transition. If you're on the screen here, you can click on the detail, or you can also click the add button on that ticket. So there's two tabs. There's the detail tab, which takes you into the detail page of the ticket, or there's the add tab where you can add directly to this ticket. So if you click the add tab, it's a little bit faster to be able to add to that ticket. So two options, they both bring you back to the same spot. I'm going to click back into the detail page to bring us into the detail page of that ticket. Now from here, let's click the plus sign in the upper right hand corner, and we're going to select add materials and equipment. It's going to prompt us for the date. So again, if this is for today's date, you can keep that date. If you need a back date, you can backdate as well too. Once you're happy with the date that you're on, go ahead and click the add button. And it's going to be very similar to our hours, adding hours. What you're prompted with is the categories for your equipment. Now, when your company was set up, they strategically set up your equipment or your material in categories that made the most sense. So what we're going to do on mine is I'm going to select some drywall, and I'm also going to select some stud and track. So I'm going to click drywall interior. Just do 5/8 type X. Again, once you're happy with what you've selected in the category, you can actually scroll down to the next category, or if you want to collapse this kind of the accordion so it's no longer in the way, you can click back into the title of the category as well too. So I'm going to click right on drywall dash exterior. What that does is it collapses that category, but we still see that we've got one item selected in drywall exterior. So just because you've collapsed it doesn't mean that that's gone away, or it's still not selected, those items that you've decided to use. But it does collapse it, so it gives you a little more space. Now I'm going to scroll down to stud and track 20 gauge. And I am going to select a piece of stud, an item that's a stud, and then an item that is track. Now your materials and equipment may look different than mine. Again, it just depends on how your company was set up. But I see that I have two items in stud and track 20 gauge, and I have one item in drywall exterior. So once you're happy with this kind of list, you put together this bucket of all the items that you used, you go ahead and click confirm. And that's going to bring you to the input screen. Now we have an update coming shortly, which will automatically display the notes. So any notes that are associated with this item, you're going to see directly underneath that. So a lot of the times for your company setup, the guys in the office have already taken care of this, but you will have notes on what to put into the size. So for 5/8 type X, we're going to use 10 sheets. We use 10 of them. And the size of each sheet was, they were 8-foot sheets. Okay, but we see in our notes here that 8 footers equals size 32. Okay, awesome. So we know for the size we have to put 32. And that is going to be your input. You have to do a quantity and you have to do a size. So it doesn't matter if it's a bucket of mud, if it's a bucket of paint, if it's acoustical tile, etc. If it's any sort of electrical outlets, boxes, any items for HVAC, it always is going to need a quantity and a size. Now we're going to scroll down to our stud and track, and we use 10 pieces of studs. They were 10 footers, so our size is 10. And we are going to put in our track. We use 2 pieces, and we see in our notes that our size is the lineal footage. We know that those were 10 footers also, so we're going to do 10. And we are going to click anywhere into the white space again to collapse the keyboard. So we've got our 3 items. We can scroll back up to make sure we're happy with all this. And once we're good, once we're ready to move on, what you're going to do is you're going to click the done button. And that's going to bring you to your summary screen. So the screen looks very similar to the hours screen. From here you can delete. So let's go ahead and delete the very bottom item. Let's delete that track. So I'm going to click the X next to it. Awesome, that was deleted. From here, you can do any sort of editing. Let's go ahead and make an edit to this 20 gauge piece of stud, and I'm going to actually delete the size. And you can also add. So if you get to the screen and you realize, shoot, I forgot to add the generator, or I forgot to add the boom lift, or I forgot to add whatever it is, you can click the add button and it will bring you back into your category screen. You can select the category, you can select the items, you can add the quantity and size. Now you see I have actually deleted the size of the stud and track here. It doesn't show anything. So if I think I'm good, if I'm ready to submit this, and then I click the submit button, I just got an error at the top. Keep in mind, again, everything has to have a quantity and everything has to have a size. So I got an error because this does not have a size. So I need to go ahead and edit this. Click the checkbox, click the edit button. I'm going to give this back to the 10-foot size that it is. I'm going to click done. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to click submit. And I've successfully submitted those items. So I'm going to click OK. It's going to bring me back to the home page of my ticket. And I can see clearly here next to the material and equipment, I have a total of 2 items. Now, if there's ever a question of what items that you've added, you can actually click anywhere on the total material and equipment. Click into that. It's going to be very similar to the hours. You're going to get everything sorted by date. So we'll click into October 23rd. We're going to expand that gray area. And I can see the 2 items that I've added to this ticket. So there should never be any questions of, hey, did I add this? You can easily go back and see what you've added. You can make edits from here. You can delete items that you may have misinputted potentially. And you can also add additional items that you forgot. So let's click the back button in the upper left-hand corner. It's going to bring us back to our ticket homepage.